Here is J.D. Vance, author, on CBS This Morning, giving us a sense of who these people at these protests were. And, look, there's been this, this is not your grandfather's or great-grandfather's Klan. These are young, middle-class, in some instances well-to-do people marching for white supremacy. And here's J.D. Vance explaining that.
The alt-right movement, this neo-Nazi movement, is actually really driven by well-to-do middle-class folks, people who have a good education. In some ways, that's perfectly highlighted by the organizer of the rally yesterday, who went to the University of Virginia, one of the nation's great universities. So it's very tempting, I think, and comforting to try to stereotype these white nationalists as a bunch of knuckle-dragging, slack-jawed yokels. But the truth is that these are kids who are doing pretty well and are still attracted to this stuff. And I think that's
And look, the bottom line is that the right can refer to these people as fringe. But we need only look at some of the biggest projects of the Republican Party. We have an attorney general who is actively engaged in voter suppression efforts, along with the so-called Election Integrity Commission, in trying to bump largely African-American voters off the rolls. The state of Indiana is being sued right now because its legislature imposed voting restrictions on one of something like 90 counties in the state, with the second, just so happen to have the second largest African-American and Latino populations in the state. We've seen this in North Carolina, which have had voting restrictions rolled back because of racial bias and intent. It was found by the Supreme Court, a Supreme Court which also the Republican-appointed justices on there said that America has changed. There's no racism left in this country. We don't need pre-clearance. We don't need an operative Voting Rights Act to a large degree. These guys, and they know it too. I mean, these guys who protest, they know they're the tip of the spear. And we all know that the spear is the Republican Party in this case. It's not to say that there aren't racists in the Democratic Party. But as a political institution, they are not leveraging it for electoral purposes. They don't have the ability to do that. Or for that matter, in Jesse Waters' case, a job. Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos